My brother and I went to an auction yesterday at the time of me making this video. I'm pretty far behind at the moment in editing and publishing videos, but so you know that those of you that have watched my channel for any amount of time know that we have a few antique farm tractors. I think it's a 59 Allis-Chalmers D17, a 49 Ford 8N, and then we also have a Ford 850, that's a 1955. So we need some three-point equipment now that we finally have some tractors, and we went to that auction and picked up this. It is a box blade for the back of the forgotten 8N. It's a 5-foot. It has two cutting edges, one back here and then one over here. And it's there was a tag on here. There's a tag on the back and something MC Lowry Manufacturing. I don't know who the manufacturer is, but there's a tag here, Lowry. There. Hope you guys can see this. Lowry Manufacturing, Boaz, Alabama. And it's got some good size ripping teeth on it. And we have a ton of gravel driveways, and I think this thing will come in very, very handy. Now this is going to be my first time using this, so I don't really want to move any gravel. All I want to do is just rip it up and loosen it up. And it does give the 8N quite a workout to pull this through the ground. But I paid a little bit more money for this than what I wanted to, but hey, I guess it is what it is, right? And you can see the 8N is quite dirty right now. We've been putting her to good use lately. So since I'm not using the cutting edges on the back, all I'm just doing is loosening up the gravel with the big teeth. And the guy actually welded on, I guess they're sacrificial teeth, back underneath here. And then there's another set of teeth that he's welded this piece to. And I'll tell you what, this thing works pretty good so far. My brother's done a lot of the gravel moving, loosening at the moment, and I'm going to be doing this for the first time myself. So now since these scarifiers here, it'll leave lines in the driveway with the big teeth, and we don't really want that. So we've got the old trusty Cub Cadet 582 Special pulling, I guess this is like a landscape rake. This is a rake we got. It was actually leaning up against another abandoned building that we have, and that one has since been torn down. I guess it'd be actually a garage. So I figured, well, we're not going to get rid of that, and it has actually come in quite handy, and we've used it on the gravel driveway here, and it looks like brand new. So go over it with the 8N first and the box blade to loosen everything up, and then smooth everything out with the Cub Cadet pulling. I guess this is I'm not really sure exactly what this is, or it's not really a rake. I guess it's just a grate. We call it a grate. And it just smooths out everything. So this thing on the 8N, probably by the time I'm done, I have 2 more driveways to do, actually 3 more, and this thing will probably have paid for itself in the very first use versus us buying new gravel. So money well spent. This thing here, you can buy them either a 5 or a 6 foot. I can't remember. Online it was like 600 500 to 600. And I paid just a little bit more than half that for this one. So I definitely paid more than I wanted to, but everything's fully functional and works just the way it should. So let's fire up the 8N here, and then I will go scratch up some gravel. So here we go.
So here I am just hooking up the battery and turning on the fuel. We have to do this every time we turn the tractor off, disconnect the battery, because it has a phantom drain in it somewhere, so you'll come back to it, I don't know, a week later and the battery will be dead. So it's a good habit to get into with these old farm tractors. Just disconnect the battery when you're done and turn off the fuel, and then we should be good to go. We did buy a muffler for this tractor, so it's a lot quieter in later videos, which is actually quite nice. It's cool to have a loud tractor right now for about the first, I don't know, 15 minutes, and then it gets to be kind of annoying. And I guess that is what it is. So there is no live PTO or live hydraulics on this tractor, so you put the clutch in and you have no more PTO and no more hydraulics. But hey, it's also 70 years old, and we are still thrilled to have it. It's a great piece of equipment, a great workhorse. It's an antique, and hey, it's still going, so pretty neat. Here's the view as you are sitting on the seat of the 8N.
So here is the gravel driveway. You can see this is actually a turnaround here, and there is gravel. It is there's a little bit of it, I don't know if you can see it or not, right in there. But this whole area right in here was all gravel, and it is all, the grass is taken over. I don't know how else to put it. So this is the road, it goes the whole way from there, the whole way, all the way down to right at the tip of my finger, right there. So the plan is to do this entire thing, make one big pass, and then come back and do it a couple times. So let's. This is my first time doing it, so I guess you guys are gonna probably see me fail a few times.
It was rather cold this day, the day that I picked to do this. I think the high was maybe into the 30s. And I noticed in one of the driveways that I was doing, it was actually still frozen, which was actually kind of surprising. But this driveway here was not frozen, and I'll tell you, this box blade, man, does it work great. It really works wonders. We have that DR pull behind thing, and that does okay for pulling behind the mower, but if you really want to get after it and really do a big area pretty quick, all you have to do is go get the 8N and the box blade. So I don't know, it probably took me 30 minutes to do this. Really didn't take all that long. I think I did 2 passes on this driveway, 2 passes up and then 2 passes back. And you gotta get the box blade pulled down before you get onto the driveway, obviously. Which this was actually my first time using this, and of course I'm not doing this entirely perfect, but hey, I'm doing the best that I can with the equipment that we have and the knowledge and skills that I have, so. But I'll tell you, I am so impressed with this box blade. Now, I don't really need to move any material. All I need to do is simply rip it up and loosen it up. There's another driveway, or I guess it'd be a lane, by the white trailer that needs box blading also. It's really bad.
pretty sweet. So that is just, I did 2 passes here. Pretty sweet. I love the 8N. So that's what the road looks like after just 2 passes. And it is, boy, it's really scraped up, that's for sure. So now, I think I'm pretty much done with this, with the box blade. And I think I'm going to go and do the turnaround here. So I guess I'll put you guys over here and then you guys can watch. Now this hasn't been done in years. So I'm gonna probably back up here and then drive out, back up, drive out, and hopefully that'll work.
So this part of the video is actually real time, and later on, of course, I'll speed it up. But sometimes it's cool to see things actually how they're, how they are instead of fast forwarded. But I just use first gear in the 8N to do all of this. There's no need to go fast. You can rip things up and break things. We have the rippers set on their highest setting, so the minimal amount of ripping. And it actually, I think that setting is actually quite good. I think it was maybe 2 or 3, probably 2 inches below the bottom of the box blade. Now we could go deeper, which we might someday, but you don't really want to poke through the base of the road from what I've heard. Because then it's, you poke down through the base of the road, and then of course there's mud and stuff underneath that. So you just want to kind of just dress it on the top, and I'm just doing the best that I can. You can see when I put the clutch in that the 3-point arms, they have a lot of leak down. So I don't know if that's some valve or something in the pump needs rebuilt inside the transmission of this tractor, which I would kind of expect as the 8N's. I think I said it was 70 years old. I think it's around 69. So a little correction there. Next year, if it's a 49, next year it'll be 70 years old, and if it's a 48, it's 70 years old this year. So, but yeah, the box blade is doing pretty good. I left a big pile of gravel out in the middle of the lane, right about there, and may go over that one more time just to smooth it out. But it's really ripping things up. The turnaround here is actually looking quite good. I kind of pulled a lot of mud and roots and stuff out into the driveway, which I probably wouldn't do next time. I didn't really want to drive the 8N where the camera is, because there's actually a septic tank here, and obviously big equipment and septic tanks don't really mix. I don't want to crush any pipes or cave in the septic tank, which it probably wouldn't happen, but it's not a good habit to get into. So this turnaround could stand some more gravel. I'm surprised how much I brought up to start with, and it's just there's a lot of mud. I may have to go through this at some point and pick out all the grass, but I'm hoping once the sun bakes on it and we actually get into summer that the turnaround here will dry out, and hopefully the dirt will sink back down through the gravel, and the gravel will be on top. So this box blade, I know I'm probably keep repeating myself, but this thing works fantastic. And if you guys are interested in buying one, go to your auctions, check Craigslist, check Facebook Marketplace, because there's not a ton of them, but if you can find a guy that's selling a bunch of 3-point equipment, chances are he'll have one. And it really, this thing really works a lot better than that DR. Not that that DR doesn't have its place, it's just, it doesn't do as good of a job as this does. And this really loosens everything up, and this rippers were on the highest.
Well, what a big difference that made. I'm even surprised. So you can see there are some, how do I want to put this? There's definitely some marks and stuff in here that I'll come by with the grate that I showed you in the beginning of the video, and I will smooth all that out. And so we'll do that next, but I'm going to go on to the next driveway because, pretty much all the driveways are all the same, so. Pretty cool. The 8N's getting the workout again today. She's pretty wore out. There's a ton of blow-by. Right now. There's a ton of blow-by that comes out of that red cow. And he needs an engine rebuild, that's for sure. But yeah, the box blade seems to be doing pretty good. Those rippers are on the highest that I can have them, so I'm pretty happy with this thing so far.
Now it's time to use the grate pulled behind the Cub Cadet 582 Special. And I'm using my hook that I welded onto it. So this should give that hook a pretty good workout, as well as the tractor. But I apologize, there's no sound in this clip because I forgot to turn the microphone on my camcorder. It has a separate button from the camcorder itself, which I actually, now that I think about this, I wish it didn't, because it would eliminate problems like this. So I just have to get into the habit of using the microphone with the camcorder and turn the microphone on when the camcorder is recording. But this tractor here works pretty good for doing this, actually. This was my first time doing this specific job with this Cub Cadet 582 Special. And it does pretty good. There's still some lines and stuff left in the driveway. I have to go over this time or two more. But the grate we found works pretty good for smoothing things out and just dressing up the driveway and making it look like it was just like there was just new gravel put down. And I'm actually using the tractor here in 4th gear, and it seems to be doing pretty good. Well, I think that's going to be it for this video. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one.